Welcome to Inside the College. I'm Dr. Maggie McMenamin, President of Union County College. My guest for this portion of the show is Dr. Bernard Polnariev, our Dean of Curriculum, Accreditation, and American Honors. That's a mouthful. Welcome.
Thank you.
Great to have you here.
It's an honor to be here. Thank you.
Well, you do so much at the college, but before we start talking about what you're doing here at the college, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you.
Where'd you grow up?
Yeah, I grew up in Queens, New York, and I spent
I hear a little accent there.
Do you?
Yeah.
I was told I have no accent.
Oh, well,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
So 20 years in Queens, and then I moved out to Staten Island, New York.
All right.
And I just recently moved a year ago out to New Jersey.
Wonderful. Well, welcome to New Jersey. The
Thank
Garden
you.
State welcomes you here.
Thank
We're
you.
glad you're here with us. Where'd you go to school undergraduate?
1 year I went to Queens College, and then when I moved to Staten Island, to College of Staten Island, and then I went to go get my master's.
What'd you major in first?
Psychology. I love psychology. I was good at it. Wanted to continue, become a psychologist, teaching psychology.
Really?
So
So you didn't want to hang out the shingle, you wanted to teach it?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I knew for a long time I wanted to teach. Then when I got my master's and then my doctoral degree, and I was teaching
All in psychology?
developmental psychology specifically.
So
Yep.
you were studying how people develop, how they go from being a perfect little infant to a mass murderer or whatever?
Far from perfect, but yes, how they develop and change over time,
Okay.
and the influences
The
of the
little I
environment.
remember from psychology was some people think you're born as a blank slate and others think everything's been written into your future,
Right.
and that you can't change that.
Yeah.
Which of those do you subscribe to?
I think you can change, and I think certainly the influences that the environment has plays a big role, and that's why you and I are here. We change our students every day, and that's because of what we believe in, that the environment, people in the environment, people like you and I, change their lives forever.
So you wanted to be a professor of psychology.
Yeah.
So you are far from a professor of psychology now. Now you're the Dean of Curriculum, Accreditation, American Honors. Let's start with American Honors. Tell us
Okay.
about American Honors.
So it's a wonderful program. It's been at the institution for 5 years now. The last year we took control over the program, and it's completely ours. We changed the price scale on it so that students pay really an affordable price. So we're talking about access. These are great students who just need an opportunity.
When you well, what are the qualifications to be an American Honors student at Union County College?
So we're looking for students with realistically at least a 3.2.5 GPA. We want them to be full-time. We want them to be focused on a program of study that they can graduate and then continue on for their bachelor's degree.
So this is for our brainiacs. That's what I like to call them.
Yes.
All right, so this is not a program that every student would go into, but for the highest achieving
The
students.
high achievers, the nerds and the bookworms.
We like the nerds and the
Yeah,
bookworms.
That's right. That's right. We see something in them that not everyone sees. And sometimes they're not a nerd in high school, but they have this drive, this potential. And we give them opportunities. We'll interview students, even with a 3.0 GPA, and see what they're about, what their motivation is, what they want to do when they complete our associate's degree.
Because some kids, maybe they didn't like high school and they didn't really apply
Right.
themselves, but
Yeah.
when you look at their real intelligence, they, perhaps if they were in a different setting, they'd do
right.
better?
And they thrive, and that's many students. So we want to give as many students the opportunity that we can.
Speaking of as many, how many students are in American Honors at Union?
Yeah, last semester we had 135 students. So
it's a big program.
It's a big program. We have a dedicated advisor focused on supporting them throughout their time here, getting them through graduation and helping them transfer to the best colleges out there.
So if I'm an American Honors student, I'd have a dedicated advisor for me, but what would that mean in terms of my coursework?
Full-time,
Okay.
full-time.
Which classes?
So it depends on your program of study, and our students, we have more than 50% of our students are actually STEM students, which is exciting, and those are really rigorous.
Remind everybody what STEM is.
So science, technology, engineering, and math.
So they're in not just the smartest kids, but in the most challenging
right.
courses.
Taking a full load. And you know what's really special also is a lot of our students end up becoming PTK, the Honor Society. Many of them become part of our ALC, the Academic Learning Center, become tutors to support other students.
So they don't just study,
No.
they get engaged
That's
in
right.
service and other
That's right.
activities.
Supporting our other students and making sure they're successful.
So if I'm an American Honors student and I take the honors classes here at the college and I'm a tutor, maybe be part of Phi Theta Kappa, where do your honors students transfer to after they graduate?
They go on to really impressive places
Like what?
thereafter. UCLA.
In California?
In California, the UCLA, Cornell, Columbia. Every year, we're always impressed with some of the places they get accepted and actually end up going to.
So you're saying students can come to Union County College, enter our American Honors program, and do well in this program, and then after graduation they could transfer to an Ivy League institution?
It happens all the time, and you know we get amazing students. I was out there on the field yesterday going to the high schools, and these kids who apply, amazing, 1,400 on the SATs, and they want to come, they want to stay local. They're still exploring their, you know, what they want to do with their lives.
Maybe they want to save money?
They save money. They know. You know, the one student, I interviewed a few students, but one student said to me, I asked them, one of the questions I ask all our students, why do you want to come to Union County College? Why American Honors? Is this the right place for you? I want to make sure it's the right fit. And so the student said, it's the socially responsible thing to do.
Wow.
This is a high school student.
Wow.
And I said, that was a perfect answer.
Yeah.
You're great.
Uh-huh.
We want you.
We want them. We want that.
And he's
student.
absolutely right. The best price. We give you the best support, best faculty, and we'll make sure you graduate, thrive, and go on to the best colleges after.
So part of what we talk about at Union County College, and we say that you come here, not only will you get an affordable education, but the faculty at Union County College, second to none, and also focused exclusively on student success.
Absolutely. And I've been at several colleges. These are really the best faculty I've ever engaged
So then
in.
they're not focused on doing research and publishing and getting grant money. They're focused on the teaching
That's
in the
right.
classroom.
Primary focus is about teaching and education for these students. And now, of course, we want to give our STEM students and now beyond some research experiential opportunities.
So I could do research here if I wanted to, if I were a student?
We have great deans, great faculty working with these students, get them experiential, hands-on work so that they're best prepared when they go into these 4 years. And when the 4 years see what our students go through and how successful they are, they want them.
Okay, and they can save money in the process.
That's
I
right.
go back to the finance.
The most affordable option.
So I know there's other things going on, and I understand what I hear in the press a lot are complaints about the high cost of higher education, and certainly community colleges help with that, but also the high cost of books, that a student could spend $500, $1,000 a semester to buy books. What are you doing to address that problem?
So as an institution, we really looked at access, and so cost of the institution is one part of it, but another part is the reality of these books. It's been out of control for years.
One book could cost $300.
Absolutely, and especially in certain fields like accounting and a lot of the STEM areas, it's over $300. And so with your support, with the freeholders and beyond, we really have taken charge of trying to control the situation and giving our students the opportunity to come at a more affordable price.
So how do you do that, though?
So with partnering with Cengage Unlimited, they have a partnership, they have an opportunity where we can get books.
So Cengage is a company.
That's right. It's an online company. They have resources, over 20,000 resources for our students to explore, utilize books, digital access books in almost every area. Not 100%, but really will support nearly all of our students.
So with the Cengage program, students will get access to digital books.
That's right.
Will that save them money?
Tremendous. Over $1,000, realistically, and it's not perfect, but over $1,000 for most of our students.
For a full-time student.
For a full-time student, and they have access for a full year. And carte blanche, anything that they want
How
to
much
access.
will it cost the student to have this carte blanche full year access?
Yeah, $130.
So instead of paying $500 to $1,000 a semester, or $300 for one book, students will pay $140 for an entire year? For one book.
It's amazing, yes.
$140 for
Everything.
everything.
Everything. It's amazing. When I tell guidance counselors, principals, superintendents, they're amazed. It's unbelievable. I think this is going to be a game changer for our students, our community, and I think this will help one of the other issues is students waited to get books.
Some of them didn't buy them at
And
all
some
because
don't.
they couldn't afford it.
That's right. So this will give them access automatically from the beginning.
So not only will it help them save money, but it's a student success initiative
Absolutely.
as well.
And it's going to help faculty because faculty will have students that are better prepared for their classes reading these books.
So I'm sure the faculty are on board with this then.
Most are excited.
Wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful. Now, in the few minutes we have remaining, got a couple exciting things going on. You've already talked about American Honors, great program, this digital book initiative that's going to save thousands. I understand you have some other things going on. Tell us about the 3+1 program.
So there was recently a bill that allows us, the community college, to teach 300 level courses when we partner with senior colleges.
So right now we just teach 100 and 200 or freshman and sophomore courses.
Right. So this will be a game changer for our institution and a lot of our faculty who will be able to teach and want to teach 300 level courses, qualified, and they want to teach 300 level courses. These students, we have a couple of programs right now. We're starting off with 2 programs that are popular. We have a lot of students enrolled, and they'll be able to take these courses, the 300 level courses, after they graduate with their associate's degree here at our price, our tuition.
So they'll save money because
lot of
community
money.
college tuition much lower than the 4-year college. Even the 4-year publics were less than.
So it's all about access and excellence, and that's what we do for our students every day.
Access, excellence, affordability. We're changing our community. We're transforming our community one student at a time. My guest for this portion of the show has been our Dean of Curriculum, Accreditation, and American Honors, Dr. Bernard Polnariev. Thank you so much for the work you're doing and for spreading the good news about access, affordability, and excellence for all of the residents of Union County here at Union County College. We'll be right back after these messages.
Union County College, transforming our community one student at a time.
Union County College, transforming our community one student at a time.
Union County College, transforming our community one student at a time.
Welcome back to Inside the College. I'm Dr. Maggie McMenamin, president of Union County College. My guest for the second part of today's show is an academic specialist at Union County College, Marquita Fitzpatrick. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
It's great to have you here.
Thank you.
Now, you're working as an academic specialist
Yes.
at Union County College in respiratory therapy.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes, it is.
So you're a respiratory therapist.
I am a respiratory therapist for 20 years.
20 years.
Yes,
Now,
I am.
before we learn all about respiratory and all about the college program,
Yes.
tell us about you. Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Philadelphia.
Wow.
I did. And after high school, I moved to New Jersey, southern New Jersey, Cape May County.
Oh, that's really
New
southern
Jersey.
New Jersey.
Yes. And which is where I became affiliated with respiratory care.
Where'd you go to college?
At that time, Atlantic Cape Community. But I think back then it was just called Atlantic.
It was Atlantic County.
Yeah, Atlantic County College.
Okay.
That's where I went to respiratory school. Yeah.
All right. So how did you pick respiratory therapy as a career?
So I worked in a hospital, and I worked in the dietary department, and I was a short order cook in the cafeteria, and I was talking to a coworker, and we were talking about what we wanted to do when we grow up, and another coworker said, "Go to school for respiratory." I said, "Okay."
Yeah. So
And
you really didn't know what you're
Knew
getting
nothing,
into?
not one thing about it.
All right. So now, which hospital was this?
Burdett. It was called Burdett Tomlin Memorial Hospital back
That
then.
was way down in South Jersey. I
Yes.
remember. And what is it called now?
Now it's Cape Regional.
Cape Cape May Regional or
Nope, just Cape Regional.
Cape
Yep.
Regional?
It's the only
Okay.
hospital in that area.
All right, so you went to Atlantic County College at that time, and then
Yes.
where'd you work after that when you graduated?
So when I graduated, I continued to work at Cape Regional,
Uh-huh.
and then from there I moved to Atlantic County,
All right.
and then I started working
You're
in
gradually coming north.
yes.
All right.
So I started working in Hamilton. I started working in Linwood.
That's Cumberland County.
Yes.
Okay.
And then eventually I started working in Voorhees,
Okay.
and I did most of my career there, Voorhees Pediatric Facility
So you did respiratory therapy and peds?
in peds. For
Wow.
the last 16 years, I've been in pediatrics.
Okay. All right. So how do you like it?
It's interesting. It really is interesting. You see some really sick kids get better, go home,
That's wonderful
grow
and
up,
joyful.
drive, all kinds of things. It's really,
Was it mostly with kids who have cystic fibrosis? Or?
believe it or not, I had not one cystic fibrosis kid.
Wow.
Not
In
one.
16 years?
In 16 years. A lot of my kids had other kinds of congenital diseases, had a lot of neuromuscular diseases. We had near drownings. We had a lot of abuse, a lot of premature babies, a lot of premature babies.
Vent babies?
Yes,
Vent-
vent-dependent babies. After they would come out of ICU, then the next step down would be to like a rehabilitation center, which we had a rehabilitation center with Voorhees Pediatrics. And after they would they would stay there for a few weeks and they would get more stable, then you would send them to us. We were long-term care, skilled nursing facility.
Sure.
And so we would take them from the point of being on the vent, and sometime I would get them, they would be about 2 months old, 3 months old, and they would be trached, attached to the ventilator and all kinds of other things. And they would stay with us until we can get them decannulated and back out into the community.
Decannulated meaning?
We remove the artificial airway from their neck.
Okay.
That's what the ventilator was attached to,
Okay.
their trach. So we would get them to the point where first you get them off the ventilator.
Right.
Then you get them to the point where they would cover the artificial airway and would again begin to breathe through their nose. And then eventually you would take that airway out and then get them back into school
And
and
that's the joyful part.
yes, get them home, reunited with their families. It was great.
Good.
Really great experience.
So even though you didn't really know what you were getting into when that person said, go to respiratory,
Yes.
you're happy. You
It
seem
is
happy. You
I
seem to
am.
love what you're doing.
I do. It's a very rewarding experience. It's very rewarding.
So, grew up in Philadelphia, moved to Cape May County, maybe Atlantic County, Cumberland County, Voorhees. You're coming a little bit north.
Yes.
How did you end up in Union County?
So one day I received a phone call. I was working at Atlantic Cape County in a different department, and I received a phone call that says, I think we have a job that you would be perfect for. And I said, okay. I accepted the interview, and I was offered the position. I accepted the position, sold my house, moved to Middlesex, and I'm here.
Wonderful. We're thrilled you're here at Union County College. That's, the joy that you have about your profession, your work, is something that students pick up on.
They do.
And I think you seem to be an inspiring type that you could probably inspire students to
hope
get through
so.
what I think is a pretty tough program. You know, my background is physical therapy.
Yes.
So I've worked closely with a lot of respiratory
we do.
therapists. So tell me about the program at Union. Tell me about this
So,
program.
The program at Union, it's a 69 credit course of study program. We have 4 clinical courses. During those 4 clinical courses, the students will have a part of their course at the college as a lecture. They'll have another component where they'll go into a laboratory where they'll learn clinical skills, where they'll be acquainted with the ventilators and all the different kind of skills
they
that
get
we're
to
going to do.
practice on
They get to
dummies and things like that?
Absolutely.
Good.
And then there's a large portion where they'll actually get to go out into the different facilities that we work in, healthcare facilities, and then they'll get to practice on people, on patients.
Under supervision.
Under direct supervision. We'll have clinical instructors. There's going to be a lot of things they will not be able to do because they're not licensed.
Right.
But that's where they'll learn and they'll become comfortable.
How long is it from, if I were to register today or apply for admission today. How long does it take to get through the respiratory program?
If you apply and you already have your gen eds, your general education credits out of the way, then it should take you 2 years, 4 semesters. If you don't have your general education credits out of the way, then just another, maybe another semester, maybe another 2 semesters. So 2 to 3 years. You should be
Depending
able
on
to,
how many classes I want to take
yes,
at one time?
At one time. Your gen eds are going to maybe take up the most time, because once you get into the program, there's the first semester, I think we have 3 respiratory courses. And then after that, you have 2 and 3 respiratory courses per semester. So the more gen eds you can get out of the way first, the easier it'll be for you.
So practitioners or professionals like you,
Yes.
Marquita, some stay in the clinic and do clinical work all the time. Others have a passion for teaching.
Yes.
Where are you in that continuum?
Wow. I knew a few years back that I wanted to come out of the clinical world. I wasn't sure which way I wanted to go. And I didn't see myself teaching, but I saw myself in higher education. And then one day it just all came together. And so I'm definitely on the teaching side.
On the teaching side.
Yes.
Do you do any clinical practice anymore?
I do. I am still affiliated with Voorhees Pediatrics. As a matter of fact, I'll be there this weekend. And I work also in adult long-term care in Atlantic City.
So that gives you an opportunity to keep your skills up
Absolutely.
and maybe keep your credibility up with your
Absolutely.
students.
Absolutely. I can't teach what I don't know. And things are always changing.
So once you graduate from a program, students who graduate from Union County College respiratory program, do they have to take a test? Is there licensure? Can you describe that process
So
for us,
once we
too?
graduate, students will take 2 NBRC, the National Board of Respiratory Care credentialing examinations. The first examination, they'll have to achieve a high score. Well, there's 2 scores they can achieve. We want them to reach the higher of the 2 scores. And once they pass that test, they'll become what's called a certified respiratory therapist. After that, and achieving the higher score, they'll have the ability to they'll have the eligibility to sit for the second set of exams. And those exams will make them a registered respiratory therapist.
So the first set qualifies you to be a certified
Certified.
respiratory
Yes.
therapist, a CRTT,
A CRTT. Yes.
Certified Respiratory Therapy
Technician.
Technician,
Yes.
CRTT, and then I score high enough on that exam.
Yes.
I take the second exam.
Yes.
If I pass that exam, then I become an RRT,
An RRT,
Registered Respiratory Therapist.
which is the goal.
That's-
Because
and the gold standard too.
absolutely, because once you're out of school and you do have your CRT, you will be able to work, but you have to get your RRT.
Okay, so it's
So
just the first step
Yes.
on a
And
pathway, really.
It is. In respiratory, I don't want to say we're phasing the CRT out, but you used to have programs that were CRT programs, so we don't have those anymore. But there are still a lot of therapists that are certified respiratory therapists.
Will the technicians be grandfathered to continue?
No, they will still be able to work.
They will.
You know, the job is still the same
Okay.
for both. But you can do a lot more with your RRT than your
it.
CRT.
Terrific. What's the biggest challenge that you have?
The biggest challenge as a clinician, let's
Okay.
say, the biggest challenge is when you're in an emergent situation, not being able to get through it. That's scary. Still, after all this time, losing a patient.
The
is-
life and death
Yes.
world that you live in.
Yes. You don't get used to it. You learn how to work through it, work with it, but it's never something that you just say, oh, okay, well, you know.
But the good times, the
have
joys of
many more good times.
getting people off a ventilator and getting those
People that
babies
you
home.
never think would come off the ventilator and go home. That's the beautiful part.
So does it change you as a person? Does it affect you spiritually when you see somebody get better that you never thought could get better?
Yes, it really does. It really, never give up hope. Never assume anything.
My sister says where there's life, there's hope.
Yes.
That's her expression.
Absolutely. And keep trying because you just don't know.
Never give up.
Never, never, ever, ever. Never. Always do your best. Always encourage your patients to do their best. And I've been surprised 1,000 times over.
Those are life lessons that I'm sure you can bring into the classroom
I hope to.
for your students. Never
Definitely.
give up.
Never.
Where there's life, there's hope.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And they will be inspired by you,
hope
Marquita
so.
Fitzpatrick.
I hope so.
Thank you for joining
Thank
our
you.
team here at Union County
Thank you
College.
for inviting me.
And for bringing your joy for your profession, respiratory therapy, to our students.
Thank you.
We're blessed.
Thank you so much.
My guest for this section of the program has been Marquita Fitzpatrick. She's a academic specialist here at Union County College. She's a registered respiratory therapist, and she's leading our respiratory therapy program. So if you have an interest in respiratory care, if you have an interest in helping to save someone's life through respiratory therapy, check out Union County College's respiratory therapy program. We'll be right back after these messages.
Okay, my name is Azure Jennings. I'm a chemistry major and I hope to graduate in the spring of 2019. Union County College, transforming our community one student at a time.
My name is Eliza Perez. I am a nursing major and I plan on graduating spring of 2020. Union County College, transforming our community one student at a time.
My name is Cheryl Navon. My major is engineering and I'm planning to graduate spring 2019. Union County College, transforming our community one student at a time.
Welcome back to Inside the College. I'm Dr. Maggie McMenamin, president of Union County College. We are looking forward to seeing everyone again next month inside the college.